year. This happens every single year. And usually it only happens at one place. Well, I guess I should say every year it starts at one place, the worldwide leader in woke, ESPN. You know, it's strange. In most cases, not all, but in most cases, when a head coach gets fired, there is a celebration. A couple of months ago, when Mama Gail stepped in and fired Denise Allen, the entire city of New Orleans celebrated. If she did the same thing with the Pelicans and fired Willard Green, I wouldn't say that the entire city would celebrate, but the half dozen or so people in New Orleans who care about the Pelicans, they would damn sure celebrate the firing of Willard. But it never fails. Every year, there is a black head coach that gets fired in the NFL. And when you think about it, it's bound to happen because for the last 4 years, ESPN and their pretend friends in the mainstream media, they have been pressuring the league to hire more black head coaches, whether they're the most qualified for the job or not. So it stands to reason that the more black head coaches that you have in the league, the more black head coaches that you're going to see getting fired. But it never fails. Anytime a black head coach gets fired in the NFL, you can always rely on ESPN to make it all about race. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you happen to stumble upon this video, be sure to check out my main channel, Behind the Line. Link to the main channels in the description below. Yesterday morning, the New England Patriots announced that they were firing Jerod Mayo after one season. Now, some people are claiming that part of the reason Jerod Mayo was fired is because the Patriots won their final game of the season, which eliminated their chance of getting the #1 pick in the draft. A couple of years ago, the Texans fired Lovie Smith after he did the exact same thing. There was outrage. There were claims of mythical racism. Stephen A. Smith was playing his role as the world's highest paid parrot to perfection at the time. He was pretending to be angry. He was pretending that Lovie Smith was fired because of his race. But it's strange. I never hear the Texans being accused of mythical racism anymore. Not today. I wonder why. More than likely, Jerod Mayo was fired so the Patriots could go out and hire Mike Vrabel. When you think about it logically and remove mythical racism from the equation, it makes perfect sense. Mike Vrabel has deep ties to the Patriots organization. But Casey, so does Jerod Mayo. Yeah? Yeah, but Mike Vrabel has something that Jerod Mayo doesn't have. Experience. This dude took Ryan Tannehill to the AFC Championship game. He turned the Titans organization around. You can say it's unfair. You can say that Jerod Mayo wasn't given a chance, and you wouldn't necessarily be wrong, but NFL owners, they don't give a shit about fairness. The only thing they care about is winning.
Winning.
Patience is not a luxury that you receive as a coach or a player in the NFL. You either win or you're out of a job. It's really that simple. Not according to Stephen A. Smith, though. No! Yesterday morning, ESPN's resident NFL expert Stevie, who I would be willing to bet watched exactly 0 Patriots games this season. I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen A. Smith didn't watch a full NFL game all year. And I wouldn't really blame him either because it was painfully boring. But anyway, Stevie was on First Take yesterday morning, and he was reading his annual script about Black Monday in the NFL. But this year, the script had been tweaked a little bit. This year, instead of screaming about mythical racism, instead of hollering about NFL teams being owned by racist slave traders, Stevie decided to subtly mention mythical racism and move on. Watch it for yourself.
This is about Mike Vrabel. That's who they wanted. No question about it. And he's a more seasoned, more experienced coach. I don't like this. They call it Black Friday for, Black Monday rather for a reason. This certainly typifies it. I don't know why it's not called White Monday. Doug Peterson got fired from Jacksonville. He deserved that firing. Jerod Mayo clearly was not given an opportunity, a lengthy enough opportunity, considering what Bill Belichick left him with from a talent perspective, considering the record, considering the way the team performed. He didn't help himself with some of the comments he made, calling the team soft and what have you, and having to retract statements, and we get all of that. But no matter what we can point to, at the end of the day, the folks in New England were turning against Jerod Mayo. We all know this. And I think it has something to do with the fact that Vrabel is available.
Did you notice how subtle that was? It was a very brief mention of mythical racism, and Stephen A. Smith moved on. Question is, why? Why the sudden shift? Last year, this story would have been the leading story at ESPN. Racist Robert Kraft fires Jerod Mayo because his skin tone doesn't match the color of mayo. Last year, Stevie would have been instructed to be pissed off. He would have to pretend to be angry, pretend to be outraged. But this year, Stephen A. was very calm. He was subtle. Mythical racism was barely mentioned at all. Why? Pure speculation on my part, but maybe, just maybe, ESPN has come to the realization that people don't want to hear it, and people don't want to hear it because they don't believe it. They know it's not true. Maybe ESPN realized that the entire country is still pissed off because they outright refused to show the national anthem at the Sugar Bowl. Maybe they realized that the last thing they need right now is a controversy surrounding fake racism. For the first time in years, maybe ESPN is finally thinking logically. I don't know. You tell me. The insinuation was definitely there. Stephen A. Smith definitely insinuated that race had something to do with Jerod Mayo getting fired. But like I said, it was very subtle. In the past, it was in your face. Why the sudden shift? Why the sudden change at ESPN? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you on the main channel.